What's good, fam? Just being real, all my life I kind of done struggled with stupidity or perceived stupidity, whatever you want to call it. But when stuff stop making sense, when you start speaking emotionalism, when you start speaking just opinions and assumptions, I it's always been tough for me to process because I am a thinker. I've been thinking about the term overthinking. You know, people be like, well, you an overthinker. I'm a overthinker. A lot of days now, a lot of people be owning it. Like, I'm a overthinker. I be overthinking. But let's be real. All overthinking is thinking that you know something before you actually process what it is or why it is or analyze what it is by fact and separate the fact from fiction. Because true indeed, right and wrong is subjective. True indeed. But fact and fiction absolutely exist. Ain't no such thing as truth. Truth is subjective. No, absolutely not. Truth is, and facts exist. Fiction is, and what fiction is does not exist. It's absolutely a fabrication. It's something that you just perceiving, something that you believe. You can believe fiction. Just because you believe it don't make it true. It doesn't make it real. And I started covering these stories, some of these encounters from across the nation that just I knew what it would do is show me what I like to see, and that's how people think. I like to see how people, I like to see. That's something that I like to study. I used to go to Walmart every day, not so much just to shop. I used to go to Walmart every day so I could encounter thought processes. My ears are one of the strongest attributes on my face. I hear everything in my direct vicinity. So I knew when I started covering these stories, what I would get is a bunch of opinions that would show me a bunch of biases and a bunch of different perspectives. I covered the story on Carmelo Anthony, and I'm just looking at the comments that I woke up to, and I'm looking at how the things that people say are a direct reflection of what they harbor inside of their heart. And I'm just saying, like, so it's a lot of people in this world that need to heal the way that they perceive this world to be. You don't know nothing about me because of how my hair is. You don't know anything about me because of the color of my skin. You don't know anything about me because of where I live at or what kind of car I drive. All you know is what those things mean to you. And anybody that can't come to those, you only exist because white people pay taxes. See, like, it's people like him. Like, you have to understand, I'm not bothered by absolute stupidity. I just say it don't make sense to me. Like, you're definitely not gonna like get me worked up. Like, I woke up smiling, my guy. I've been to war. I've been the little boy who ain't had nothing, and I done worked my way up to who I am, knowing what I know. No, it's your truth, my guy. It's your truth. I'm an eternal being. I exist because I was created that way. What's up? It's Sunday. Sunday said, hey, guess what? I ain't really come on here to entertain all of these comments. His did catch my attention though. Like, and yours did too. His caught my attention because it was full of hate. Yours caught my attention because it's full of love and hearts. Happy Sunday from Sunday. Happy Sunday. That's what's up. But like, looking at the Carmelo Anthony case and looking at how people are listening, how people are responding to what it is that I'm saying, and I wasn't there. Let's start there. I wasn't under the Memorial High School tent. Let's start there. I'm perfectly fine coming to the understanding that I don't know what happened or why. But for people who weren't at the event, who weren't at the stadium, who weren't under the tent, who wasn't in this kid's head, who's never been in this kid's shoes, to be assuming so strongly that they're willing to go to insult is absolutely insanity to me. Like Buddy in the comments, like, I only exist because white people pay taxes. My physical anatomy exists because two melanated beings laid down and had consensual interaction that led to 9 months of development and me being pushed through a birth canal, if you want to be technical. My essence, who I am, is eternal, man. I've been in existence before the word existence existed. Like, your statement has no factual bounds, and that's what I'm saying. Like, just be able to think. I understand that we can feel, but we got to be able to actually process, actually analyze, actually dissect fact from fiction. And when you can do that, somebody's spitting fiction, regardless of how much it's full of hatred, it won't bother you because you already know it's fiction. What I look like getting upset reading a book about fictional characters. Like, what I look like getting online, watching something and getting upset because of what happened on the show. It's fiction. It's for your entertainment. Use these people as your entertainment. Stop running everything through your emotions. Stop feeling everything. Everything is not meant to be let in. Understand, you have some thoughts about yourself and about other people that you don't need to entertain. So if you have thoughts on the inside of your head that shouldn't be entertained about yourself and about other people, how much energy and how much effort do you think you need to put into entertaining everything that everybody else say? You can't do it. You can't do that. That's not a productive way of leading yourself. And if, like, I'm gonna just read some of the comments, man. Let's say, why am I not surprised that this dude is taking up for Carmelo? Lay off the weed, my guy. It's effing with your brain. How do you know by watching my channel? How do you know by watching a 25-minute video and they didn't even watch all 25 minutes of it? How do you know from watching 6 minutes of a 25-minute video where I'm expressing myself and reading through a case file with no weed smoke in the air, no dilated pupils, no indication that I partake in marijuana? How do you come to the conclusion that it's a substance that's messing with my brain? Is that not by definition what projection is? Is that not you looking and making a preconceived notion, you standing on how you view people with long hair and melanated skin? Or you following stereotypes? This is what you believe about me. You don't know me. I'm over 120 days clean. Not because I'm on probation, not because nobody wanted me to quit, but because I didn't see a purpose in continuing to involve myself in something that wasn't contingent for my growth. I know that's a little hard for people to understand that don't have the knowledge that we are progressive people. Like, you have to deal with people as they are. Deal with people individually. You don't get to box people into a collective and decide what that collective stands for, what that collective is known for. Oh, he got dreads, and he black. He probably be on that gas. There's the same probability that I do partake in illegal activities as it is that you do. It's a 50-50. It's either I do or I don't. You can ask. We can have a transparent dialogue, and I don't mind telling you whether I do or don't. I did. But that just made me all the better. It just made me, that just speaks to my ability to evaluate where I am, what I'm doing, and how it's benefiting or restricting my growth. That taught me self-discipline. It's much easier to start something than it is to finish. It's much easier to perceive value in something than it is to come to the conclusion that what you perceived was inaccurate and there is no value in that situation. It take a working cycle. You're honestly bringing up stand your ground laws. It's wild what tribalism will do to one's perception on reality. I like when people use the word reality and they speak from a place of absolute opinion. I say tribalism. So in a video where I'm reading a police report and I state directly, and these people would know that if they would have watched the whole video, but they didn't watch the video. They just came and heard me talking in a non-condemning way of somebody that they've condemned, and they took opposition with that. He's not talking about actually thinking through things. He's not talking about not being riddled with judgments to the point that all I can see is my own projections. He taking up for that boy. I'm on truth side. And if the truth is that the papers are writing the story with a slanted narrative so that they can get a rise out of a certain demographic known to complain loudly and violently, you do see the trend, right? It's not the people of the accused that are going around spilling hatred. I don't get online and see a bunch of people saying, yeah, he should have did it. He should have hit him a couple more times. That's not what I get online and see. I'm getting online and I'm seeing people saying that this young man deserves to lose his life because of a moment that he has identified as protecting himself. Now you gotta be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to be able to remove yourself from your thoughts, your biases, your preconceived notions, what it is that you think you know, what it is that you believe, what you've been told by the people that you are influenced by. You got to be able to actually navigate through your psyche, through your own mental work. If you can't do that, then you don't stand for nothing. If you can't do that, then you will see nothing for what it is. You'll see everything as what you think you know. The only thing in your head is your past experiences. You're running your present and running your thoughts of the future through all of your past experiences. You can't judge a whole demographic off of your encounters with 1 or 100 individuals. We can't even come to the conclusion of what it means to be a police officer based on the ones that pulled us over. All I know is those officers. All I know is these people that I met, they interacted with me in this way. That does not mean that everybody who looks like this person or everybody who's in the role of this person is going to interact with me that way. That's projection. That's me using my past to judge you in the present. And that's lame. That's lame. That's not progressive. It's not conducive to your growth. Like, I know what the history books say. I get that. But for those whose ancestors founded and constructed this particular geographical location that we find ourselves on, to not feel confident to speak in power and authority lets you know that something has gone terribly wrong. And all it is the program. But I'm not finna sit here and blame the programmer. I can't do that because I'm not victim minded. Yes, what the programmer put in place, it was absolutely wrong. Terrible. Heinous. But the program isn't the issue. It's you that have partnered with the program to the point that it's constructed your mental makeup a certain way. You didn't have to partner yourself with the program. You didn't have to agree. I'm not saying that it would have been easy to go against the grain, but I am saying you did not have to partner with the program. That's a choice. And one of the things that I've had to learn over time is the choices that we make chasing compromise and convenience are the most costly choices that we ever will make. It looked convenient. It appears to be the easiest route. But have you not noticed that your eyes will play tricks on you? Have you not noticed that you will lie to yourself as quick as somebody would lie to you? How long are you going to blindly trust your thoughts that are largely under the influence of the program? How long can you trust your blind emotions? How long are you going to allow your feelings to dictate and determine to you how you navigate through life? Who you partner with, who you disassociate with. You going to let your blind feelings do that? You haven't noticed over time how much you've paid, how often you've gone through things that you would not have had to endure if you would have used something other than your feelings to navigate these moments. Program, that's the thing. Like they're not flawed. They were created just as perfect as I was created perfect. The only thing wrong with them is they don't know that all were created by the same creator and that all were created perfect. So when they look at me, when they look at the case, when they look at every individual that they come in contact with in the course of a day, they're basing it off of what they perceive. When it comes to the law, I don't have to actually be in a situation that is threatening my life. I have to have reason to feel like I am in a situation where my life is threatened, where there is imminent danger to my life. What am I supposed to wait and see if it was imminent danger? If it was imminent danger and I'll wait to see if it was or not, then it's going to be too late for me to act without retreating so that I can extend my physical existence. The whole concept of the law is based on how people actually make decisions for the most part with an undisciplined mind. I thought, I perceived, I felt that I was under attack and that this attack was going to lead me to my demise. So I did X, Y, and Z to hinder what I thought was going to come so that I could preserve myself. Like that's the brain's function. The brain is only concerned with survival. Laws are stupid and complicated. Possibly so, but they're in place. So regardless of how stupid and complicated they are, what tripped me out is ignorance is never an excuse for breaking the law in the court of law. Like I can't go to court for something that I was charged for and tell them that I didn't know that was illegal, and the judge tell me, oh, okay, you're good. You can go home. No. Before you act. And if we be real, man, so many people be talking and acting and doing and thinking, and they don't be knowing nothing. They haven't sat down with a book or sat down with themselves or sat down with a leader ever. And they just be going, just talking, just giving their opinion and giving their take on everything. And honestly, man, your opinion means the world to you. To you. Your opinion is not that valuable to other people. And to be real, when you become a student of truth, your opinion don't even carry weight with you, because you understand that it's just your opinion. And if you choose a side before you know, it's gonna mess with the way that you perceive what actually is truth. Like I say, this world does not reject people based on their skin tone. That's how it seems, for sure. Like, for sure. This world rejects anything that it doesn't understand. Like people that when you come in contact with a person, if they can understand you, and the average person who is not a student only understands what is just like them. If you think like me, then I understand you. If you act like me, then I understand you. And that's not unity. That's uniformity. If we wearing the same thing, if we dressed in the same way, mentally, then you over here with me. That's uniformity. Unity means that we can come together and we have nothing in common. We don't have a common enemy. We don't have a common admiration for anything. We don't look the same. We don't talk the same. But we can come together, and in love, we can partner through whatever the differences are. I don't need you to be like me. I don't need you to think like me. I just need for you to be at least inside of love, developing an understanding. If you can do that, then me and you can get through whatever. These the ones that was getting to me. Dog father say, man, he shouldn't have even been over there in the first place. He done. Say goodbye. And that's a light-skinned melanated brother. The suckiest part about the program is they didn't program you to hate other people. They actually programmed you to hate yourself. They programmed you to not be comfortable being true and transparent to who you are. If you need people to agree with you in this world, you ain't gonna be able to stand for nothing. For one, you got to change. You got to flip-flop and be a chameleon, changing faces and changing masks everywhere you go. And that's a hard life. That's a hard life. There's no enjoyment in not being true to yourself. You're not gonna reach any level of fulfillment. You're not gonna reach any level of satisfaction. You're not gonna. You might make some money. You might get popular. But you're gonna be popular and miserable. You're gonna be rich but poor in spirit. Trying to get everybody to agree with you. Trying to get everybody to like you. Trying to get them to like you. You're going to mess around and end up not liking yourself. Trying to fit into the status quo. Trying to fit into the box. And trying to be what other people say you need to be successful. You're going to find yourself unfulfilled, unsatisfied, and living an existence that don't even suit you. We be talking so big, but we live so small out of the fear of rejection from the people around us. Out of a fear of somebody seeing us do something and disagreeing with us and talking about us. Like a lot of us have never left middle school mentally. You're still worried about how you are perceived and how you are seen by the people around you. Nobody's even watching you. People got bills. People got their own kids and their own dilemmas and their own concerns. They're trying to figure out what they're going to eat tonight. They're trying to make sure that they are provided for in this race of life that we find ourselves in. That's not life at all. Life is not a competition. My success is not based upon how I live in comparison to you. I know some really rich people, and some of them are some of the saddest people. They call my phone, and they're never happy. They're never satisfied. They're not calling and telling me how good of a time they're having. They actually want to know what A Course in Miracles says about healing. They actually want to know, well, why am I feeling this way? Or what do I need to do to find myself more disciplined? Or they have questions. Like, I enjoy being around students. I enjoy being around people who actually use their understanding, actually have set aside what they think they know, set aside their assumptions, can cut off their projections, and actually can look at a thing objectively. Sit back, see the big picture, rather than harping on the details that you disagree with. We have to be able to progressively, to mentally, cognitively, like, just stand still, just vibe. You get so caught up in your feelings, you get so caught up in your own personal experiences that you can't see objectively. You just get to running, and when your head get to running and your feelings get to running, your mouth get to running, and you run off at the mouth and say things that have no factual basis, but they expose how you think. They expose what you stand for, or they expose where you have condemned a certain demographic or condemned a certain mentality or a certain possibility. And then you turn around and tell somebody that you're open-minded and you're able to see things from different perspectives and different angles. Like, you do understand, a closed-minded person doesn't know they're closed-minded. An ignorant person is not going around saying that I don't know all day to everybody that asks them questions. There's a large majority of the ignorant people that are standing in positions of influence and are spilling words of opinion daily. Like, I don't want to be one of those people that's constantly telling you what I think. For one, I have a deep inner desire to know. So we can talk theory. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. But if I'm gonna put a stamp on it, if I'm willing to give it to you as something that you should live your life by, understand that it's been tried as truth on my end before I ever speak it to you. And that's why I keep going back to, when discussing these cases, like, man, I wasn't there. But what blows me away is the people that I know weren't there either that are speaking on it. You got 60-year-old men who live in New York talking as if they were in Texas under the tent with these 17-year-olds. And if you were, that's another problem. Listen, you're not an overthinker. You speak before you speak before you actually think. You get so caught up in your feelings and your mind get to running, and you're not able to think. And then we turn around and call it overthinking. You got so many judgments and so many biases and so many broken paradigms in the way that you're not able to process and analyze, and then we call it overthinking. That's not overthinking. You're not over. Listen, You're not thinking at all. But that's the problem with the way we speak. And we be calling things what we want to, because you can make the mouth say anything. And that's why it's important to give more attention to people's actions than their words. I can open my mouth and make my mouth say anything. You got people who speak about how much they love God and how much they love Jesus, and will turn around and disrespect and disassociate themselves with the very people that need the encounter with Christ. It's not about what your mouth say. As you mature, as you get wiser, as you get older in life, you learn to give less attention to what people say and watch what they do, because actions speak louder than words is not just a cliche. I can test what I say by turning around and observing what I did. I know what you stand for, not based off of what you tell me you stand for, but based off of what your actions say you stand for. You telling me that you have a desire for truth. You're telling me that you live in faith, but then I'm watching you walk in fear. I can't go off of what you're saying, because you just like me. We get ourselves convinced that we're not lying, that we're telling the actual God the honest truth. This is what I really feel. But again, how are you letting your blind feelings lead you to the ultimate truth? The only way to actually observe what is true about you is to see what it is that you do, not what you say.